This map shows in the green how the previous plan for the road alignment for Poplar Street in Washington. Washington, if you look at the center of that in the, it's like a red dot, that's actually the cul-de-sac, which has not been improved, but which would be something that would be improved with the later phase of the First Light project and is part of the First Light plat. What's happening is the green roads are going away, being replaced by the red, what you see in the red. So that shows what's happening with the road alignment. Our engineering staff has said that it's an improved alignment. It's better than what was there before or what was previously approved. The other thing to keep in mind, too, is the road alignments that are shown will not happen immediately. They will happen over a long period of time. A lot of them are not funded currently. They're not in a capital improvement program, so they're all subject to that. As far as Poplar Street is concerned, north of 56, that would only happen with a later phase. The other issue to keep in mind is the naming of Poplar Street north of US 56. If you look on the street, to the streets just to the east, there is a street parallel. I can't remember if this works or not. Anyway, I can't seem to get it to work, but there's a street in the subdivision directly to the east that is Poplar Drive. To the north, the street that is adjacent to the school, to the high school, is Buckeye Street. For that reason, as Poplar goes north of US 56, we're asking that actually the name of that be changed to North Buckeye Street. That's not a requirement that's in your staff report, but it is something that we're recommending be added as a condition of the staff report. And with that, I'll conclude my remarks. I'll stand for questions, comments. The representatives of First Light Church are here if you'd like them to say anything or if you'd like them to answer any questions. Thank you.
Mike, I got a question real quick about the alignment, and I saw it. I don't know if there's a slide I can go back. I think it's a slide, that one right there. This is a new proposal for a reroute of the Poplar/Buckeye intersection. I see a roundabout over here west of the rehab center. Is that a realignment of 56? Because it doesn't. You wouldn't want to realign 56 that way, would you not?
Well, the US 56. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Is KDOT recommending this?
Over the long term, the US 56 corridor plan recommends that that's how that be changed. And it's a little alarming at first if you're not used to seeing it. The reason it is that way, as I understand, is that most of the traffic, the future projected traffic, will be on Santa Fe Street, which turns on 175th, and will not be on US 56 itself. With the development that's anticipated to occur west, and at the end of 175th, there will be considerably more traffic, and so this routes traffic in that direction. Now, again, this is not something that's funded. This is a concept.
Okay.
It's something to be implemented through future land use decisions and decisions about funding roads.
Yeah. The concern I have, Mike, is that you've got residences on both sides of that. Some have access directly onto, and it will be very similar to what we currently have downtown with residences being right on 56, but I don't know if that's necessarily what they bargained for when purchasing those property lots. So that's why I mentioned that, and that's something that would definitely be subject to public hearing, I'm sure. But
so what part are you alarmed by?
I'm more.
Or should we be alarmed by?
I'm concerned about those houses to the south of Santa Fe, the ones between Waverly and that five-way intersection that's projected right now.
This
Between the
is
fire
part of the
station and
56
the-
corridor plan,
Right.
Yes,
so.
this is KDOT's 56 corridor plan.
So you don't like the roundabout, or?
No, it's not the roundabout I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about those houses south of Santa Fe, current Santa Fe, and north of that, of those commercial properties that are abutting that wedge.
So what will become, and I know this isn't about First Light, but just as long as
I
we're
know.
talking about it, what's going to become of the space between the roundabout and the traffic light at Poplar?
I know.
Is that, I mean, so you're, basically, we're seeing 56 Highway is rerouted north and then back to the east.
Well, south and then west, yeah. It'll be south down what is now, I guess, not even a street right now.
I guess it depends on which way you're going, but,
Correct.
okay, so what will the street be between the roundabout and the traffic light at Poplar? Is that not going to be called 56 Highway anymore, or?
Actually, I believe that there's not going to be
There's not going to be a
A
street
road.
there at all?
there at all.
No.
According to the concept plan, there is not going to be a street there at all. The access will be provided off of Warren Street. And that was also something that was a concern that was voiced by some folks that attended the meeting. Again, this is a plan, it's a concept plan. The purpose of the meeting, our meeting with the residents, was not to determine whether the corridor plan was valid or appropriate or a good plan. It was really to address the changing in road alignments as a result of the First Light plat. I think that my understanding, and Tim McEldowney can answer questions about that. He probably understands how this would be implemented better than I, because he is involved in road designs in the future. But these decisions, the city council will have that opportunity to make those decisions in the future as they approve development entitlements and as decisions are made about road funding.
So who pays for the realignment of Poplar south of Santa Fe?
I actually, if I could, that really doesn't have anything to do with the rezoning of this particular property. And it's certainly something that's going to be addressed at length, and this is part of the 56 corridor study. There would be Kansas Department of Transportation dollars that would be invested, probably county dollars that would be invested, but, I mean, none of this is even actually on our radar right now. I would like to kind of try and move forward on the rezoning request for First Light Church,
Okay.
and maybe discuss this at a different time, but that's...
Well, if we have to reroute Poplar Street to accommodate the rezoning, isn't that somewhat part of this discussion?
I mean, there's three parts to this, right, that we're approving.
Mhm.
And so, I kind of was with Larry, I thought that one part is this whole Poplar Street discussion.
So what would be your answer?
The answer to that, I'll do my best. What you're being asked to consider is the rezone request, and then also the approval of the final plat for First Light. The First Light project will not work with the road in what has been approved in the past, with the alignments that have been approved in the past, because Poplar Street cuts right through their development site. It would bisect their development site. So their project, in order for that to work, Poplar Street has to be shifted to the east. In doing that, it means that there's no full access to Meadowbrook Hospital. It means that they have a right-in, right-out access only. When I first saw this, my first thought was, well, Meadowbrook Hospital is going to be concerned about that. We took great efforts to contact them, keeping in mind that the type of hospital they are, they don't have an emergency room, so emergency access is not as big of an issue as it would be with a typical hospital. Do they have some